Hello everyone, and welcome to another video on our journey to discover customs declaration software. I am Arnie Mielken of Customs Manager, excited to be that you're with us. In today's video, we're going to look at the offer at hand. We're going to go to gov.uk and we're going to figure out what are the software houses and the software that's actually offered as publicly available today in June 2024. And we'll take a look at who's out there and who should we be talking to in order to figure out what custom software is the right one for us. Hey, we've been using the same provider for like 3 years now, and we're coming up to the contract renewal, and we want to know, should we renew or should we not? Should we go with someone else? And this is important because the custom software landscape has changed due to AI. Everything's AI now. And so the claim is that you can file customs declarations almost completely automated. So I want to check this out and see if this is actually happening. And also want to know, what do we do with mass classification requirements, or mass filing requirements, I should say. So 900 customs declarations in one day. How do I even do that? I want to find out what's there for SMEs, small and medium enterprises. And then I even heard about the UK government having its own trade single window where you can file customs declarations. And I have been invited by HMRC to test it. So I will tell you all about the testing result of me lodging a customs declaration in the HMRC system. And then we will evaluate if that is the solution and we don't need software anymore. Wow, there's a lot to discover. So let's get right into it. The first step first, though, today we're going to do what? We're going to look at the software on offer. Let's go. On here, I've just moved to the top right corner. I hope that's okay. I hope you're seeing my screen. This is gov.uk. So there is nothing secret about this. This is completely transparent, and you can see gov.uk as you want. All you have to do is Google list of software providers providing customs declarations. So this is obviously a snapshot of today, and it may look different for when you look, but hopefully the principles remain the same. One of the first steps when you look for new software is to go here and say, well, who's offering what? So why don't we take a bit of a look? So this is guidance, software developers providing customs declaration software. Check a list of software developers who can provide customs declaration service and customs handling of import and export freight chief software. Okay, so this is about chief software, but I'm sure it's also about CDS software, because chief software we can't really use anymore. It is predominantly CDS now, and I mean, we're only filing on CDS. There's no such thing as chief anymore. But be that as it may, these people, these excellent colleagues with whom I've worked many times with many of them, at one point I even worked for a software company myself. They're doing excellent work, and it's a difficult situation because everything's changing all the time, requirements change. So I'm very glad that service providers exist. So let's go for it. Let's see who we've got. What did we say here? HMRC cannot, may, or recommend or endorse any product or service over another. Well, that's fair, I guess. So if you don't, then we will. Don't worry, it's all good. If you like your details published, okay, so this tells you that anybody can get published here, okay? I don't think there's any check of who goes onto this list. There's no vetting, no nothing. If I said I had custom software, I don't think anybody would check me. So you can then send this to the SDS, but I don't know. So it might be that they're doing some checks, but not sure. So then we will see here, the following list has the contact details of developers. So that's great. So we have contacted all of them. All of them that are on the list have received our invitation to come to an interview, around 20 to 30 minutes, where we ask the 10 questions that I went through in the last video. We have 10 criteria by which we go through the custom software. They are allowed to, they can answer the questions we have around these 10 criteria. And if they want to give me a free trial, or they want to offer me something to fiddle around with, then I'm happy to do that. And then I will make a video on my testing as well. So there's an opportunity for a 20-minute interview around the 10 criteria that I outlined yesterday. And if you do give me easy access to the system, I will play with it and I'll make a video on it. How's that? That's a good incentive. So feel free to pick that up. Get in touch with me if you want to be part of that. Right, back to this. So here's the website, and here is the list of software providers. It goes by by alphabetical order, I suppose. So the first company here is AEB International, big player, very big player. German, I'm German, so that's very good. And they do chief customs declaration service for imports, exports, simplified declaration, and here are the contact details. And if you want to find more about this, then they offer a website that you can look at. So what we're going to do, we've contacted AEB. Let's see if they respond. So far they haven't. And so if we don't get a response, we'll just go with the website and review that. And then that will also give us some indications of AEB's offerings and services. Yeah, but we really hope AEB will be in touch and we get to some demo and some answers to our questions. The next one is ASM, very big player in the UK as well. Also, for a long time had the chairmanship of the JCCC, the Joint Customs Consultative Committee. Also does the standard declaration software. And there's more detail here. There's a telephone number, so this is great. So the first two are already big players, AEB and ASM are well known. Then we have AJ Software Solutions Limited, trading as Customs Declarations UK, Customs Declaration Service for import, and Customs Declaration for export. This is really cool because you can really remember the website. CustomsDeclaration.uk is really easy to remember. So if you were Googling Customs Declaration UK, well, that's probably what's going to come up. I mean, brilliant from a name point of view, and does what it says on the till. Doesn't seem to do chief, which is cool because we're not in chief mode anymore. And what I'm looking for is something that's really easy to manage and I can manage in bulk, but also if I wanted to do manual declarations, I could also do that. So I'm excited to hear from Customs Declarations UK. So guys, get in touch and let's do it. Yep, so that's the third. Next, Ashford Applications Limited, now trading as Customs Support. Customs Support, of course, well known. It's a massive company that has a lot of different offerings, and one is, of course, declarations for imports. Strangely enough, seems to do only chief here. Doesn't seem to do CDS. Well, that can't be right, can it? I mean, then what are we talking about? The key thing here for me with custom support, first of all, big name. Lots of people I know work in custom support, and of course the big man himself, big man as in competent and great man. Des is an institution in customs and is so knowledgeable, and of course also the chair of AZITA, a very well-known trade association. So custom support, high regard in Arnie here for Arnie. So that is a quality mark. So far I'm pretty impressed by the companies that I know quite well. AEB, ASM, worked with the previous chair quite a lot. They also invite me always to a multimodal, so this is good. And then of course, very clever choice of name, Customs Declarations UK. Hadn't seen them before, but they seem to be well out there. Then Custom Support, big company, also offering customs clearance, but strangely enough, here not for CDS. Azyra, well, I'm not sure, never heard of, but yeah, happy to go with that. So gonna explore that as well. I'm gonna go a little quicker, not because I want to give people less time, but we're at A and we need to get to Z. So Azyra, never Azyra, not sure. Excited to see what happens when I click this, for sure. Next, cargoes customs declaration managed by CNS. So CNS, well known as a as an inventory port badge kind of provider. So that will be interesting as well. And so this is where you go for your badges, the CSPs. So the CUPs are in there. So this will be interesting. Seem to be doing only imports, no exports. So that's not too great because we want to be doing imports and exports. At the very least, we want what, for example, the customs declarations people do. They do imports and they do straightforward exports. Do I need simplified declarations? I personally probably don't, but depending on your model, you could very well be needing that. So if you're in the express carrier business or you have a lot of volume, you might want to split imports and exports. So then probably ASM or AEB might be better. But if it's straightforward import and export, I will be enough when it says customs declarations for import or customs declaration service for export. But chief alone won't be enough. And so this seems to be okay. But then CNS misses something for me. I don't know. What do you think? ChannelPorts, again, seems to be doing imports. That's good, and seems to be doing maybe inventory link ports only. So no, sorry, GVMS ports only. So because it says channel, and channel ports reminds me of the channel tunnel, and channel tunnel means GVMS. So that would be something to clarify. What's the scope of the customs declaration, and can I add bolt on the badges? If that doesn't mean anything to you, then I'll do another video on that some other time. Conex System, French, very known, does a lot of good stuff in France. So if you're dealing with France and imports into France or export out of France, maybe that is something to think about. Not only exclusively, but I have met them. They are often sponsors of the Audace conferences. So I know them quite well, but seems to be doing imports only here, which again would be a bit weird. Contain Technologies UK, not heard of before, but provides customs declaration software. Fine. Happy to look at this. Interestingly, Contained IO. So this seems to go into a direction of modern technology. Let's find out. CSMBV. So the BV tells me this is a Belgium software. So there is also Belgium in here, which is interested in providing software solution for the UK, which probably means they're also doing clearance in Belgium ports. But if you do a lot with Belgium and it goes vice versa, then that's certainly something you might want to consider. Wow. Customs for Trade. How well known is Customs for Trade for anybody in software? I mean, in Europe, they are so cool. They have great white papers. And I mean, I've seen demos of the software. Briefly, I even supported them in work that they did. And they've gone through a lot of changes, but I think the software is very promising. It looks very cool. This idea of flipping an import declaration into an export declaration seamlessly. And if you then add AI to the mix, that could be very, very cool. So Customs for Trade, I'm looking forward to our discussions. I know you've got it scheduled in the books, and I'm grateful that there's more information available here. Of course, we know CustomsLink. Yes, CustomsLink is very well known as well. And look, they're doing quite a lot. So this will be good. CustomsLink's also there to support importers, exporters, and also to simplify declarations. So that's pretty good. And again, more on the website. CustUK is AppeByte. So there again, we have customs declaration software. That looks to me okay. I don't know really much about CustUK. Excited to find out more. So please get in touch. Tell me what you do and how you do it and how easy is it, and then we'll chat. And I'm gladly making a video on this. Declarant International, again, never heard of that. Here it gets a little tricky because we don't have more information. We only have Francis Lasota. I've contacted Francis and Francis hasn't come back to me. So not quite sure what that means. But there it is. What can I say? France number 2, Descartes Systems UK Ltd. Of course, what a massive company and what a global company. And I know very well Descartes when it comes to customs clearance. I've been using Descartes for such a long time that I am well familiar with their system. And I know in the beginning, it wasn't quite as straightforward. They did great training with me. There's a lot of fields to complete, and also the SAD boxes had to be turned into data elements. So that, that was interesting. So I've had a great time with them. There's so many stories that I can tell about Descartes. But personally, but what I really appreciate is the wealth of the wealth of options I have, right? So I can do a straightforward import declaration, straightforward export declaration, but anything else from transit to warehousing, I can do in the system as well. So that is, if that's what I want to do, and I have so many different operations, then that's certainly a great player. Now, I have my own thoughts about the view, and we are going to make a video on my understanding of the Descartes system. Again, it's just a personal one. And if Descartes wishes to speak, please get in touch. I'd love that. E2Open. Well, what can I say about E2Open? Having worked at E2Open, I really know E2Open quite well. But what's great to know is that we're now also doing customs declaration. So E2Open does a lot of things, but customs declaration was, when I left, not yet fully developed. It seems to be developed now, which is great, but it seems to be for imports only. So that's a bit of a shame. But E2Open is worthwhile checking out because there's a lot going on E2Open as well. And what a privilege it was to spend some time with E2Open. So glad, very glad to see E2Open here on this list. Expedite, expedite, is that what we're calling it? Is this expedite? But it seems expedite. Is that written in the right way? I wonder. Yeah, again, provides customs declaration. Bit more detail could be nice. Expedite app, interesting. So excited to find out more. Don't know much about it. Forwarding digital, fine. As well as forward solution. So forward solution seems to provide more information than forward digital. And again, email has been sent to this address, request for interview. Please come forward if you want to be considered. Otherwise, we're very happy to click here and then review what we can and then post that. So it's totally up to you. My God, we're going to be busy here. Forward solutions, the next one. I think we need to do this justice. We need to do this in another video because this is getting quite long. So we're going to stop it here with forward solutions. What was the first reflection then? Well, the first reflection, maybe if I stop the sharing. The first reflection is that there's a lot of service providers and quite a few named known faces here. So some I know, some I don't know, some I worked with even, but the key players that I'm aware of seem to be there, plus quite a few others that I don't know. So which one's better? Which one's the best? Do I go with the ones that I know? Do I go with the ones that are new and might have a different offering? Some don't even put a website and some are only for imports. So I'm looking for imports, export, transit opportunity at least. So let's see. So we're going to stop it here, and then we're going to continue in the next video down the list and see what happens. All right. Hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that like and notification button to be notified of new videos. Arnie out. See you next time.